Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Ashley and I appreciate you stopping by today. So today we are talking about the Naked Cherry palette. So here she is, and she is the newest up in the Naked series from Urban Decay. So if you guys do not know, Naked Cherry was released about a month and a half ago, maybe about a month ago, depending on when you're seeing this video. And you know, prior to them like releasing the Naked Cherry palette, they actually had a funeral for the original Naked palette. Yes, they had a funeral. You can Google it. It was like Crispy was in the video and Makeup Shayla and a couple other folks, and it was hilarious. So they had a whole funeral for the Naked palette, which was the original palette. And so they were going to, you know, kind of wait and give us the Naked Cherry palette, but you know, people got some receipts and kind of was able to get the scoop and find out that, you know, the Naked Cherry palette was on the way. So they kind of had to release it a little bit earlier. So true to the Naked fashion, it looks like this, and it's more of a monochromatic palette. And I'm going to open it. It does come with a brush. I took it out because it will fall, so it comes with a double-ended brush. And here are the shades. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You have 12 shades. I don't know why I didn't know that, but you have 12 shades. Sorry, I don't want to blind you. You have 12 shades, and of course with Naked palettes, they arrange them in from a lightest to darkest. So you have the 2 lightest shades right here and the darkest. And I will be sure to insert my swatches for you so you can see them of the palette. Now, I was hesitant about purchasing this palette. I was really on the fence because I have purchased the Huda Beauty New Nudes, and you know that is on the same color scheme as this palette. And then I do have like the Dose of Colors 5-pan palette in Blushing Berries, and then I have the Huda Ruby, even though that's more red / pink. But I was just really on the fence because I will also talk about it in my demo, so I'm not going to bore you and say the same thing like 3 to 4 times over again. But I was just on the fence, so I picked it up and was like, okay, I'll try it. And so here we are, we're trying it today, and I created this look for you. So, like I said, Urban Decay did discontinue the Naked palette, so this is like kind of a new direction that they're going in their palettes, and it came with a whole collection. Of course, you had the 24/7 all-nighter pencils. You got a little Naked palette with the blush duo and a highlighter. They had some lipsticks, and they also had a little small travel size scented Naked Cherry all-nighter setting spray. Now, I didn't pick up any of those palettes. I'm on like lipstick overboard, so I just can't even do another lipstick. Plus, I had this lipstick in my arsenal already, and it's by Urban Decay. And then I do have like some of the redder pencils from when they relaunched Naked Heat. So I felt like I was good on that. And then just too much red sometimes around the eyes. And with my complexion, I could probably look like I got punched in the eye versus looking cute and trying to slay. So we're not here for that. But I do actually like the Naked Cherry line. But I was like, my whole caution was just that most of these shades were just going to look alike. So overall, the palette I think is beautiful, and I do think it's pleasing. You have to stay tuned at the end for my final thoughts. But some important things that we should note about the palette, because we are here to have information as well, that the palette retails for $54. I think that's a little expensive. Urban Decay was like the first, you know, company to really start releasing palettes, but I think at this point they can knock it down about $10. I would be better like if it was $45 at this point in time. The package is redone. I think the packaging is gorgeous. It's kind of like the same packaging that they have the Naked Heat, and then once you open it, you do have a mirror right here, and then we have the unicarton for the palette right here, and it has the same design. And then when you turn it over, it talks about the description of the palette, how you get the Naked Cherry and it's right for picking, and it's 12 all new shades that are sweet and tart cherry hue shades, including shimmering pinks, warm peaches, and deep burgundies. And then they also have like the soft shimmers and then the metallic shimmers, and it goes on to talk about how the cherries are the forbidden fruit, and we all know that. Okay, so then we also have the ingredients, and it's also given here in another language. And then when you turn it back, so here you have the ingredients right here on this side, the SKU, the lot number, and it says it's good for 24 months. I'm sure you can't see it because my light's right here. It's 24 months once you open it. But if you know you store your palettes in a cool, dry place, you should be okay. So stay tuned for the demo. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this demo. So I'm using the Urban Decay Cherry palette, and I have my brows filled in. I'm going to use the ABH Brow Definer Pencil in the shade Caramel, and I have my eyes primed with the Urban Decay Primer Potion and Caffeine. So I think I want to do a halo eye kind of situation. We'll see what we come up with. So, but I'm going to go in, and I'm going to start with the color Juicy, which is right here. And I have my Sephora Pro 10 brush right here. That's the number 10. Pick up, Juicy. Just picking up. So let's see. Do windshield wiper motions. So, have you guys picked up this palette, or are you debating it? Because I really wasn't planning on picking up this palette. And a certain person who shall remain nameless, it's like, I want to see you do the Naked Cherry palette. Okay, well this color is laying on pretty nice. I do like that so far. I'm just kind of building it up. When I swatched these, I was like, oh, they feel a little dry. But then I had to go in with like my Naked Heat palette, and then I was like, oh, these swatch dry too, because I was like, maybe I'm just tripping because I got an attitude that I bought this palette because somebody was like, I want a review. And not that you guys can't request things, because I'm totally here for that, but I just had like no intentions. But she knows I'm just pulling her leg. So, and then right here, I'm sorry, while I was doing all of that talking, I picked up the shade Feels. And I kind of went in right here in this little crease area. And this right here in this middle crease where I have kind of like this fold, and my eyelid kind of just comes over and lays over my eyelash. So like I have hooded eyes, but I have like a disappearing hood. And lately I feel like my hood hasn't been as big or as noticeable. So I like that. Okay. So I have those two colors down. Now, let's see. So I think we're going to go in with Bing first. That's this. And then do the shade Devilish. Bing and then Devilish. What was the shade in the, oh, the shade in the Heat was called, was it He Devil or something like that? Because I'm like, that was that a devilish shade. So, what did I say? Oh, I said I was going to go with Bing first. Okay. So I'm taking Bing, and I've changed brushes. This is my Sigma Small Taper Blending Brush. This is the E45. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick up Bing. You get a little bit of kick up with the palette. Actually, okay. Kind of blowing away. Down here I kind of had a lot Juicy and Feels. But it's not terrible. I mean, and this color picked up well on this brush. And this is Bing. So... sorry, I'm like, my pillow that I'm sitting on is kind of like flattening out. And I'm just going to take this on the outer corner. Okay, I probably picked up too much because I do have fallout right here. If you can see, some of them are my freckles, but I do have fallout rather. And I'm going to take this on the inside corner right here. And I'm just picking up some more of the shade Bing. And I'm just going to keep layering it. And then I am going to bring it over to kind of connect. Right here. This shade applies nicely. So I just didn't want to really get this palette. Not that I was opposed to it. I really love the Urban Decay Naked palettes. I think I have them all now. Yeah, I have them all. I don't have like any of the mini basics or the naked basics. I don't have any of those. But I do have the naked palettes. I kind of came into them a little bit later in the game. But I do have them and I enjoy them. My favorite is Naked Heat. And then I really like Naked 3, and it's really because of the shade Trick. Urban Decay, if you are watching this video, please make Trick in a single shadow. Please make Trick in a single shadow. Please. You got a Trick lipstick, you got a Trick eyeliner. Why we can't get Trick in a single shadow? I think they do that to make us keep buying the Naked 3. Because you notice like YDK and the Naked 2, you can get that as a single shadow. You can get Half Baked anywhere in the world. Any type of little gift set. But why we can't get Trick as a single shadow? I love that color. That is like the best champagne color I've ever seen. Why, Urban Decay? Why? But I digress. I'm coming back. So I was afraid because I just thought that all these colors were going to kind of look the same. But, I mean, they kind of look the same, but you do see some depth. So I just wiped my brush off in that color switch, and I'm going back in. And now I'm going to pick up the shade Devilish, and we're going to deepen up those corners. But I was just afraid because I was just really thinking that I'm just layering it in between here. And I'm going to braille the bridge across. As you see, I have picked up way too much shadow. These shades, they pick up nice on the brush, so just be careful. But I got a lot of fallout going here. I'm going to wipe it off all at one time. And I don't have any base makeup on, so I'm good on that front. Okay. And then, so I was afraid because, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Back Talk palette. I was so excited for that palette. I mean, so excited. And it was released in my Ulta. It was released in my Sephora a little bit earlier, so I was able to get my hands on it. And now I'm going to take this chocolate shade. I'm the same brush. I clean it off. I'm going to go ahead and take Privacy, and it's the deepest shade in the palette. And I'm going to tap off my brush. Yeah, I needed to. These shades are powdery. Make sure you tap off your brush. So I'm just going to kind of focus it on this outer because we need some depth. We need some depth in this situation. But I'm trying to tell my story. So the Back Talk palette, you know, it was a double palette. It had like maybe 8 or 9 shades, eyeshadow shades. And then you flipped it over and it was like blushes and it was highlighters in it. I was so excited. The price point was like maybe $45. So like it was cool because you got the eyeshadows and the blushes, and they had those rosy tones. They kind of had like this glitter shimmery feeling shade that I was really feeling. That was kind of red copper shade. And I got it, and it was just like all of my looks. I'm just carrying that over into the crease and kind of meeting with this because it was like this look really needs some depth. That Privacy shade is doing something, but it's not doing a whole lot. And I don't know if it just doesn't layer very well over the other 2 shades. And I'm just bringing Privacy kind of over, just really deepening that kind of up. Okay. But all the shades just like really, really looked alike. So I ended up having to return it. And then they had a smaller palette with the spring or somewhere after that. There was, what was it, Aphrodite palette or something like that? I don't know. So that's why I was like really hesitant about this. But, okay, I found me another palette to sit on because I was just like sinking and sinking and I was looking like this. But I was really just concerned that this palette was just going to kind of look the same. And I mean, the mattes, now the mattes in the Back Talk palette, they were more like on this end. So they were very light. So you really couldn't like deepen up the looks too much. You really couldn't, you didn't have these mattes, deeper mattes. You didn't have some of the other variations. So, I mean, I will say that, but I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I'm just going to blend that Privacy out just a tiny bit more with this E45 by Sigma. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take this little Tarte brush that I got in a set a long time ago. It has this little unicorn thing. And I'm going to take the shade Ambitious right here. And I'm going to pick that up. But overall, I do enjoy the Urban Decay Naked palettes. And I like the Naked too because that is a nice cool tone palette that I do enjoy. I tend to like warmer palettes. So I picked up Ambitious. It picked up well on this brush, but it needs some oomph when you put it down. So I'm going to spray it. And I'm going to use my Fix Plus, if any will come out, because this one is almost dead. Come on. I see a little coming out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the shade Ambitious like on this part and this part of the eye, and I'm still going to leave the center open so we can put a little brighter shade right there. And I was thinking about the shade. I think the shade Young Love is really pretty, but I think it's too close to all the other mattes. So we wanted to like, because it's a halo eye, we want to have some sparkle. So I'm going to layer this. Oh yeah, that made it pop more. Okay, maybe I'm like struggle bus over here today. Let me get my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. And this is no shade to my Fix Plus. It's just that I could barely get any Fix Plus out. And so I think the brush is just not saturated the way it needs to be. Now you saw, like, I don't know. That MAC Fix Plus pumping situation is crazy. But the only thing is, you know what, Urban Decay shimmers, especially the ones, not the Born to Run palette, but especially the ones in the Naked palettes, I find that you really have to kind of, the palette almost dropped. I told you, I always dropping something. I find that you really have to like kind of dig into the shimmers to get that maximum foil payoff. You know, does anybody have that issue? Now, I think the Born to Run palette, like that one is super nice. See, now that I got that brush super saturated, you see that color is really picking up. But I find like these shades, you really always have to dig in your Urban Decay palette. Like they are literally like dense. And I'm taking that up a little bit because, you know, I have like a little bit of a hooded situation, but I'll blend it in together. I'm just taking that up right there. And then I'm going to kind of wipe off my brush. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to take the shade Turn Off. Yeah, Turn On. That's this shade right here that was next to Ambitious. I'm going to pick it up. And I just swipe down. Have a good amount on my brush. And I'm going to get it really wet. Really saturated. Make sure I don't drop my palette. But the shimmers just don't pack a punch. And it could be because it's not that they can't be pack a punch without... Ooh, see now with that. So I got that brush. Super saturated. Oh yeah. And I'm going to flip it back over. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that shade Ambitious. So we lay it on the outside. I'm just going to kind of re-intensify it. And layer it over it so we don't have just like blocks going on. Then I'm going to go ahead with my E45 brush again. I'm just going to kind of fix this in this little crease area. Blend it out. Blend it out. That Ambitious shade is just really not picking up like I want it to. I mean, I think it's a pretty shade, but it's just not layering. Like you can see the subtle thing, but you really can't see the pop. You see more of the Turn On shade right here. I'm like thinking what to do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick up some more Ambitious. So I got some more on the other side of the brush. And I'm just going to kind of like try to amp it up. Sorry if I'm covering up. Okay, I'm just looking. Go back again with Turn On. Actually, at this point, I'm just going to kind of put Turn On like all over. I wanted to have that look where you had like the mattes on the inner and the outer, and then a shimmer and a shimmer, the same shimmer where it's a little bit darker and the brighter one right there. And sometimes it depends on the shimmers. Like that look can really work, but it just, the shimmers have to be, I don't know. I have a lot on my brush right now, so I'm gonna wipe it off in my color switch, and I'm probably gonna go back in with Turn On. I keep calling it Turn Off. Turn On. So I got my brush all nice and wiped off, clean. I'm gonna go back in with Turn On. So I picked it up, it's on my brush. I'm gonna saturate it. Cause I don't know, something about saying wet and Naked Cherry together, even though Turn On and then wet together, I don't know, just sounds crazy. Not crazy, but just sounds a little you know what I mean. Okay, I mean, I like this better, and it kind of layers nicely over that other shade, but it just, I think it just looks better. On camera it might look a different way, but it just looks better with Turn On there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, get the fall off my eye right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and some touches on my face, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and I did my other eye and added my wing liner and my mascara. I used the Benefit Bad Girl Bang. So now I did not add any foundation. If you're may or may not know, I don't really wear foundation a lot. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't, but I'm not really feeling like wearing it today, or any type of spot conceal. So here you go, just me. So I'm going to go ahead and with blush, and I'm going to take my Juvia's Place Volume 1, this is Volume 2, excuse me, this is the Sahara Blush Palette, and I'm going to go in with, looking for my brush, go in with this Christian Siriano brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade B because it's a little bit deeper. And I didn't want to do like a pink blush because I already got pink on my eyes. My complexion pulls a little pink. So I needed something just a little bit deeper than a lighter pink. So doing a little bit of blush right there. And I don't know why I keep adding, because this is Juvia's Place. So you'll look like you won't have any blush on, and then like 3 minutes later you'll be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Too much. And then I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay palette. This is the Gwen Stefani collaboration from a couple years ago. So if you're like an OG on my channel, what am I talking about OG on my channel? I've only been on YouTube for a month, y'all. But anybody who has maybe seen one of the first videos knew I was trying to like get rid of this blush. I'm done with it. I'm not even going to get that little corner. But I am done with it. So I'm going to take this highlight shade. Wait, I used this so much. I'm like, what is the name of this shade? Okay. This shade is named Hush right here. And I'm not even sure if this palette is available. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take this. Pick it up. And I was like, I feel like I've gotten a lot of love out of this palette. But this is like one of my first blush palettes. I didn't really have any blushes. I still don't really have any blushes. And I didn't really have any highlighters per se. So, here we go. You know, sometimes when you keep your collection a little cute and content and kind of minimalistic to a certain degree, you can actually use a product up. I'm actually getting a little dent in here. Nice. So I thought about decluttering, but I do like to wear this highlighter sometimes to work, or if I'm not trying to do too much. So this is the highlighter. So I didn't get the blush palette because like I don't like too many blush products. I like highlighters right now if they're really different and unique to my collection. I just didn't feel like they are. And I did not get the lipsticks because I have enough lipsticks. I'm on I can't buy any more lipsticks, y'all. I got to finish up what I have. So I do have, but I have, and then I have like a lot of the shades, I already have them, and very similar in the Urban Decay, you know, collection. So I have this color called Shame, and this is this older packaging of their lipsticks. This is before they like officially renamed them with the whole Vice collection and changed the size to the newer one. So, but they did, I think, come back out with this color because Urban Decay kind of does that sometimes. So I was going to rebuy it, and I'm going to pair it with this Venom lip liner, and it's similar to one of the Naked Cherry shades that was released right there. I think they came out with 3 lipsticks. And I did not get the eye pencils because I do like those eye pencils, but I just didn't need any more red pencils because I'm not going to wear red pencils a lot. And something else is dropping because my shirt is headed. It was the brush I used to use my blush. I got to get a bigger table in front of me, y'all. Like, this table is cute and convenient, but, and it doesn't take much as far as me storing it when I finish filming. But y'all, I dropped so much stuff. It's insane. So I'm just lining my lips. And I really like the Urban Decay lip pencils. I really like their lipsticks. Of course, you know I love their eyeshadow primer. Darker colors I try to fill in right here also, so that way if you eat something or drink something, you still have a little bit of pigment there, especially when I wear a darker lip, because this is like a more cream lipstick. So now I'm going to go ahead with lipstick. Looks like this. Can't remember if I showed it to you or not. It's like, okay, this palette's hard to open. Okay, so I got my lipstick on, but I totally forgot. I wanted to add a shade to my inner corners, but I did not want to do it without you all. So I'm going to take the Urban Decay Moon Dust brush. Maybe I should have used that for my shimmers. I don't know. But I'm going to take the Moon Dust brush, and I picked up here this pink shade called Bang Bang. And I wanted to put it in my inner corner. And put it right here. Okay. Let me wet it. Let me wet it. Okay, going back in with my all-nighter spray. Yeah, that made a difference, wasn't it? But the thing with these shadows are, I was like, I don't know why I forget every time I use, like, especially like the Naked Heat palette for sure. And maybe Naked 2. You do have to really get your brush saturated if you want the shimmer to really, really pop. Otherwise, it's more of a soft shimmer. So, that's that shade right there. Add it in. So this is the final look. What do we think? How do we like it? Overall, I do like the look. What do I think about the palette? I don't know. I don't hate it and I don't dislike it. Okay, so let me start there. Okay, I think overall, Urban Decay, I love them as a brand. I think sometimes they can be a little bit hit or miss. I like the look that I came up with, but I think sometimes we are always like, yes, our shimmers, they need to pop, pop, pop. But this is like a Naked palette series. So I'm not sure if it's actually been said before, but maybe the shimmers might be more subdued for a reason. Now, if the shimmers are more subdued, I'm okay with that, but sometimes I still want the colors to pop. But I do think that the shimmers can be formulated better. Like they could be more creamier and not as powdery. Like I really like the shimmers that's in the New Born to Run palette. I think that palette, they really hit it out the park, excuse me. But I do find that this palette, the mattes were very dry, but even though they were dry and powdery, so you did get a lot of kick up when you used your brush in the palette. but they did blend out nice. I did not have a problem blending the shades out. And even like the two lighter shades, they showed up on me. And I had on like a darker eyeshadow primer, like I have on the shade Caffeine and the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Like a lot of people I know use Eden as more of a poppy primer, but I still do like Caffeine, and I like the blend that I did get. Now, these two shades right here are the lightest. I'm never really going to probably ever use these shades. I hardly ever. Maybe one day I get creative. Maybe I'll do this a lid shade and do like an all matte look to just brighten it up. I don't know. But I tend to never use the two lightest beige bone shades in the palette. I just don't. Overall, I think they gave us a nice gradient of the colors. I do wish that maybe like Bing and Devilish could be just a little bit different variation, because a lot of times like you have all these shades and you just have this gradual progression, and it seems nice and it seems aesthetically pleasing when you look in the palette, but when you get ready to apply them to your eyes, they just come off as the same shade with a lot of people. So I know a lot of people are concerned like they can only really probably use this part of the palette, but I did find that these 2-3 shades are easy to use, but you also have to look at the complexion of the people. So with my complexion, I did find that these 2 shades did work for me. They did set like the groundwork for my shadow base, for my shadow look that I was going on, so I don't mind that. Like I said, I think it's a very powdery palette. I'm not in love. I'm not in dislike. I'm just somewhere here in the middle. And I still, as I think today, that the Naked Heat is still my favorite Naked palette. And I will keep playing with it. I'm not writing it off. I will keep playing with it, and I will come back and let you know what I think. I might not do a second look, but if you follow me on Instagram, because if I do a second look, I'll be sure to post it there so you guys can see what the second look is, and I will kind of tell you my thoughts about it. But so my Instagram is Dr. Ash and her makeup, and I'll put it like right here so you can go ahead and follow me there. And I kind of give you a sneak peek of what videos I'm working on or just other products I picked up, and swatches and comparison swatches are on there also. So let me know what you think about this palette. Did you like the look? Are you going to pick up the palette? Are you still on the fence about the palette? Just let me know what you're thinking down there in the comments section. Give this video a big thumbs up, and please do subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here on my team. I am so excited to be here. I feel like my platform is just growing and growing, and I appreciate the people who have subscribed to my channel, and I enjoy interacting with you guys in the comments. I've been seeing some of the same people writing comments, and it makes me very excited that you guys are enjoying my videos. So thank you for staying here with me, and this is Dr. Ash, and you know, I'm going to give y'all my little chair dance. I just like to dance, y'all. That's it, you know. So I'll see you later. Bye, YouTube.